And breathe, Manchester United fans. Fabrizio Romano has come out and confirmed that Chelsea do not intend to pay compensation and send Jadon Sancho back to Manchester United. He has also made it very clear that Jadon Sancho is not welcome back at Manchester United. Going to go into them details and why this has all come about. We touched on it the other day with what David Ornstein was saying, with what the Daily Mail was saying on that clause. Well, not so much a clause, but an option out for Chelsea. But the plans are under Maresca that Sancho is not going anywhere, and he will be permanent in the summer. That's where we're at with that one. I want to talk about that in a bit more detail as well. I wanted to compare him to the likes of Antony, because Antony right now, as we know, is pulling up trees at Real Betis, and United looking to really cash in on him and rid themselves of two massive wages this summer in Sancho and Antony. That I want to get into detail about as well and see what you all think about that, because we do need to talk about Antony and what his role is to play in Manchester United's summer. Frankie de Jong offered to Manchester United again. Look, I'm just going to put the question out there right now. If you could get Frankie de Jong for 35 million at 27, would you take him? I know the wages are to be dealt with and everything like that, but would you take him at 27? I don't think Manchester United would, to be honest, but I wanted to test the waters. That news is circulating again at the moment. He has apparently been offered to all Premier League clubs. I want to talk about whether he would fit in at Manchester United, or is that one of them players? He's gone, time to move on. I don't see it happening, but the question's there to be answered anyway, just because I like mixing things up a bit. More news and updates on the transfer front regarding the right wing-back position. Frimpong and Fernandes seem to be top two. We'll talk about that as well. And obviously, it's game day. We are going to be back a little bit later on with the warm-up before the Leicester game this evening. I will be doing a watch-along here on FUTV starting later on, obviously. So it's going to be a jam-packed day full of content, everyone. But I will keep you updated and go through I'll go through the actual game stuff a little bit later on and give you information about the timings of everything that's happening content-wise this evening. Obviously, there's the big Carabao Cup final as well before Manchester United play. So, yeah, it's going to be one of them days. We are going to be on Football Talk straight after this show as well with the paper round, so make sure that you do stick around for that. The conversation will continue over there as well. But get into the comment section, everyone. Talk to me. Sunday morning, 16th of March, the last game before the international break is today for Manchester United. An opportunity to come and finish up in 13th. Well, if results go our way today anyway, because obviously Crystal Palace and Tottenham haven't played yet, but we have got a chance today to go up to 13th in the league. Ooh, yes, I know. Exciting, eh? Yeah. It's more about the form we United I feel right now, though, and everything else, rather than the league position. We know where our eggs are firmly placed. It's in that Europa League basket, so we'll just keep them toasty over there for a bit and deal with the Premier League later on. But I want to start with Jadon Sancho. We did a video the other day off the back of the Daily Mail that was then backed up by The Athletic and David Ornstein about Jadon Sancho possibly coming back to Manchester United. It's an option there, and he could possibly turn up back in that pre-season squad for United this... Oh, good God. I even talked about the fact that no one at United right now has really dealt with the Jadon Sancho situation. The coaches are different, the manager's different, the ownership is different. All they did was bring a player back in the summer and obviously then loan him out. So, let's just... What's the name? Let's just look at this situation and this transfer for what it really is right now. And thankfully, Fabrizio Romano came out last night on his YouTube channel and told us exactly where we're at. Chelsea, current plan is to keep Jadon Sancho. They're not looking to activate any contract right now or any rights within that contract right now, send him back to Manchester United. He has made it very clear as well that Manchester United have made it clear that they do not want Jadon Sancho back. They don't want him at the football club, and do you know what? I don't think we do either. And it's a good thing that Manchester United are making their stands clear on this one, but you are always going to get this speculation. I've talked about this many a times before. When everything is bad, when everything is negative around Manchester United, the media will pile in on any little subplot or sub-story that could bring up some more aggro or create anxiety within the Manchester United fan base. They are going to do it. That's their job. And it is going to trigger a lot of emotions within Manchester United. And in the midst of what Sir Jim is talking about, the Glazers, the protest, what's happening at Manchester United, they throw that story in. They've dug it up. And obviously it's going to get traction because it's Sancho. Nobody likes him. It's been a massive issue at Manchester United since he's arrived, really. And that's what's happened from there. Romano, thank God for him, has come out in his YouTube channel last night and said, like I just said a minute ago, that there is no intention from Chelsea to send Jadon Sancho back to Manchester United. As it is at the moment, the plan is the obligation to keep Jadon Sancho and sign him on in the summer permanently at Chelsea. And that will carry on. And that will go ahead, thankfully. So we're okay on that side of things, it seems, with Manchester United and Jadon Sancho. And you know what? It's like we all laugh at him in his time at Chelsea. We laugh at the impact that he's had in, how the freedom fighter, who is performing just as bad as he did at Manchester United, is now at Chelsea. It's good and well, and we can all laugh about it, but we still haven't got rid of him yet. He is still officially a loan player from Manchester United. So, really, we need to be hoping that Chelsea actually do well with him in the side. I mean, he won the penalty the other day that got him the win, got Chelsea the win in their last league game. I think that's about it, to be honest, for Jadon Sancho. His performances this season have been absolute dross. We know that. He's on a really bad run, and he has shown his true colours. But Maresca likes him, and that's what we've got to hold on to. And I feel like that is what is going to clinch this deal and see this over the line, thankfully. Please, God, just show a little bit of something, Jadon, from now until the end of the season to make it look like you are well worth that money at the end of it, and we can just move on. Because this saga just needs to end. We talked about it the other night with Jadon Sancho, 1 year left on his contract. I know there probably is another option to trigger another year, but United won't do that. Ineos will not trigger another year for Jadon Sancho. They won't see that viable, so he has to be sold in the summer no matter what. Chelsea sending him back will just leave us stuck, really. And we would have to sell him dirt cheap just to get him off the books and break even. So 25 million and him gone is definitely profitable for Manchester United. So we need to hope that that just continues and goes forward on that. In terms of Manchester United, the loans and everything else that's going on right now, just wanted to compare Jadon Sancho to Antony and the stick that Antony has got throughout his time at Manchester United, and obviously going away and proving himself at another club in Real Betis compared to what Jadon Sancho was. United will end up cashing in on Antony in the summer, and they will turn a small profit on him. The numbers that he is providing right now, just for example, he has got 8 goal involvements, 4 goals and 4 assists in 10 games for Real Betis. He's almost at a goal involvement a game right now. He is absolutely smashing it at Real Betis and helping them progress in the Europa Conference League, which United, by the way, if Betis win, get a huge bonus for Antony and that loan fee. So that is still more money we could bring in. Antony's going to prove very profitable for Manchester United, unlike Jadon Sancho. So just to put that into perspective, 2.5 years at Manchester United for Antony, he's only 9 goal involvements away from his United total right now. After 2.5 years at United, 10 games at Real Betis, he's only 9 behind his United total, which is absolutely crazy. And it does show you how well he has started over in Real Betis as well. But they're the players that we're talking about right now. When you're talking $500,000 in wages a week in both Antony and Sancho leaving in the summer, you can see how Manchester United and Sir Jim Radcliffe feels like he can start being profitable and balancing the books. And that, I feel, is what United's aim is. Because if you get rid of him, so Antony, Sancho and Marcus Rashford all in one summer, bada bing, there you go. And then Casemiro on top of that, well, what are you talking there? You're talking realistically, what's £1.1 million a week in wages with them 4 players off Manchester United's books. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous when you look at it. 1.1 million near enough a week. Like 4.5 million a month in wages. Wow. That is a lot of bread. That's a lot of wonga. And you can add that all up at the end of a year, and you can see how the finances are going to be benefited by these players all leaving United. Let's be honest, neither one of them 4 players right now, who's costing this club a fortune, are really impacting Manchester United. Credit to Casemiro recently, like we've said, but that's the situation we're in right now. And I think the relief within the Man United fan base, just that we've got someone coming out and confirming that we are looking forward, then to be hit back again, which it looked like with Jadon Sancho, has now been put to bed. And Chelsea are, in fact, with Maresca, looking to keep Jadon Sancho. Look, they can solidify their place in top 4 with a win. I know it's against Arsenal, and it's highly unlikely, but like 2 teams there challenging for top four. And you've just got to look at that and say, well, at least we know that they can afford it. Chelsea are buying up everybody at the moment. And I think Jadon Sancho staying there is, I think, the right move for him. I think Maresca is the only manager that would take him right now. So it's good for United that Maresca is doing so well at Chelsea because he likes Sancho. And he was the driving force behind taking Sancho to Chelsea. And he is still playing. He's still getting game time. It's not like he's been left out. He is featuring for Maresca. So it shows that he wants him there. It shows that Antony getting game time in Betis is also going to be a wanted man by the end of this season. We know he is with the numbers he's putting up anyway. Rashford the same. And obviously now Casemiro is playing games. He looks a little bit more valuable as well. So the point I wanted to make at the start of this show is really in the first section is Manchester United's big earners and players that are costing the club an absolute fortune are all getting game time right now and all actually look quite valuable. And it is looking good for Manchester United when the summer comes because it's easier to sell players when the contracts are coming to an end or they're actually proving their value within the teams that they're playing for right now. I think Casemiro definitely will go in the summer off the back of this. We did a story the other day about him and his agent actively looking around for other football clubs. Obviously going into his last year, United won't be able to loan Casemiro. Very similar to the Sancho situation. He has to be sold. United can break a little bit of profit if they sell Casemiro for 20 million this summer. That's the minimum I think United would take. If you cannot get 20 million for Casemiro from somewhere, then we really are scraping the barrel. I think something will be done with Casemiro. We can sell him. I think it'll be the same for the other three players as well. And United will be in a miles better financial position. Even without Europa League football or Champions League football, the finances would have come down an awful lot. And then it comes down to how clever United are with recruitment and players coming in. Would one of them players coming in be Frankie de Jong? No, in my opinion, and it's a big fat no. That ship has sailed. He's in the Gareth Bale category of players. Honestly, right now, I don't know if it's just I won't say hate for Erik ten Hag. Obviously, it seems that way every time I mention him. I know that, but I don't want any more Erik ten Hag players at Manchester United. I really don't. And I understand what Frankie de Jong's qualities are. I really do. He had that horrible ankle injury. It kept him out for months at the start of the season as well. He's 27. He wants high wages. And as good a player as he is, which he is, I still don't think he is the type of man that Manchester United want to be having in their side. He's a game-changing player. I understand it. And I'm always arguing with myself in transfer deals like this and possibilities of this sort of transfer happening at Manchester United. I'm always arguing with myself. And I always come out eventually with the sensible option. It's like, no, but this is what we've done for years. This is another Casemiro. This is another player that by the end of the contract that he gets at Manchester United is going to be in his 30s and we're not going to be able to sell on. And no sell on isn't everything. And if you're getting a player at 27, if you get him at the right price, which I think 35 million for Frankie de Jong, I mean, that's his market value at the moment anyway, around about 35 to 40 million. He's got 1 year left on his contract, so Barcelona cannot drive the hardest bargain, but they're still going to try and get decent value for him. If you could get Frankie de Jong for 30 million, I might be interested. That's what I would say. But then again, you've got his wages. Does he warrant 200 grand a week? Yeah, I think he does. He warrants the same wage that Matthijs de Ligt is on, his former teammate. Both of them players have gone to the heights. They've gone to big clubs. They've not really succeeded as much as they wanted to, and they've had to be brought back down to earth again. It's the same in both. So if he wants to come to United and be on them wages and do a job for us, then yeah, at 30 million, I think I'd take that. I would, because he's an absolutely brilliant footballer who can control the football game. But anything above that, forget it. That's just my opinion on that one. And like I said then, I've just said no at the start of that then, completely contradicted myself, because I see what player is there in Frankie de Jong. And I don't want to be talking about him. We did enough of that and all that garbage in the summer, didn't we? But no. Honestly, right now, for me, I'm still in the no category. But you tell me, everybody, what do you think of this one? There's a lot of people all saying no. There's tons of comments coming up in the live section right now. Thank you, everybody. Get involved. Get your comments in. Make sure you have subscribed to For Every Night TV to get your comments in as well, everyone. Let's get talking. Let's just scroll up here and see what you've all been saying. Let's see. There's so many no's. No. Not an hammering player. No. So many coming in. Bloody international break. I get that one. I see it. Doesn't De Jong get about 650k a week at Barcelona? I can't see United paying that. No, Stephen, they're not going to pay anywhere near that. It's up to him. Like, Frankie de Jong knows that his big payday is over. And he is going to be coming down in wages wherever he goes. No one is going to give him anywhere near what he's on right now. So it's up to him. It's the reality. I can see him staying another year and then leaving on a bleeding free. But I think Barcelona's financial situation will force their hand into moving Frankie on this summer. They want to move past him. 27 isn't that old, but I feel like there's something just holding me back with him. Where I've bigged up the actual side of him, which is top notch. I've also said, look, really, it's too late, isn't it? That's how it feels. It feels too late. It does. They haven't negotiated the contract yet. That's when things will heat up, though. In terms of the Sancho contract, that was the issue all along that we said with Jadon Sancho. Just going back on that as well. Keep your comments coming in about all of them players there. Frankie de Jong, Antony and Sancho. That's our first section of the show. We're going to move on past that in a moment. But in terms of Sancho, the only reason this has come about and people have jumped onto this, like Ornstein, the Daily Mail, and now obviously Romano is jumping onto what they have said, is that he hasn't negotiated his contract for Chelsea next season yet. But there is an obligation to buy. So, and that obligation is already triggered. So Chelsea will not finish 14th and below. So that is the obligation triggered. They have to go with it. Past that, I don't know if the contract negotiations are going to scupper the deal or anything like that. We will see. We will see in good time, I'm sure. But I think Maresca wants to keep Sancho. I don't think he's going to be on the money that he's on at Manchester United. I mean, he'd be stupid to actually want that because he's done what? Nothing. You can't even argue that he's a full-on international player anymore because he hasn't featured in the England squad for years. So, no, there's no way that he can even demand the wages that are anywhere near the wages that he was on at Manchester United. That's a no-go. Can laugh at Sancho. He'll be playing Champions League football next season. We won't be. Do you think you're supposed to say can't laugh at Sancho there? Oh, we can laugh at him because he's an absolute clown. And I think the Chelsea fans have jumped onto that already. I'm just glad that Maresca's there, like I said at the top, because he's the one that will keep Sancho. I actually feel like if Maresca wasn't there and there was another manager in situ, we would be worrying about Jadon Sancho even more right now. Sancho up there with Di Maria, for me, a proper bellend, he says, Liam. You got Ross says, wonder if the whole thing was made up, if they were actually thinking of shipping him back. I don't know. Maybe to push him a little bit. Maybe to push Sancho into more performances. You never know. There could be a few little subplots here and there, mate. Good point you got, Ross. Tom in Thailand, United were waiting to see if they progressed through to the next round of the Champions League before deciding on Pogba reunion. I think things will progress with him during the international break. In terms of Pogba, Romano also said that there is nothing between him and Manchester United. So I don't think United would be in for Pogba at this point. Not the Champions League, by the way, the Europa League. I think Tomo was saying there. JT says, I remember when everyone was getting most thinking about signing him. I think that's supposed to say exciting there. It took 3 years to sign him, and now we don't want anything to do with him. The curse of United strikes again. The curse of Sancho, really, because everyone was looking into his form at Dortmund, but no one really looked into the past of Jadon Sancho being kicked out by Pep Guardiola, needing to be carted to training by Erling Haaland, staying with Erling Haaland so he actually made it to training. These are all the things and the warning signs and red flags that were there with Sancho that people like Ed Woodward just wouldn't look at. And this was the issue that Manchester United had all along. We had people, like I said in yesterday's shows, running this club that honestly did not have a clue what they were doing. And that will always be the issue with Manchester United's past. But it looks like, and what we've just talked about there, the Antonys, the Casemiros, the Rashford, the Sanchos, all of these types of players leaving, this is now, I feel, the real turning of the page for Manchester United and the back end of that old recruitment days And one thing we cannot say isn't going to be better is the recruitment and the structure within Manchester United. That, I think, is one thing we can all agree on is actually going to be is going to be in a miles better position than what it was before. 100%. Almost at the midway mark, so let's get through a few more comments. Brett says, Chelsea have signed another sporting player. Amorim has burned his bridges there, it looks like. He might not have been in for him, mate, to be honest. He might not have been in for him. But Chelsea are signing up everybody at the moment, it would seem. Did Sancho get a call to play for England? Did he? He played for England back in, what was it? The Euros, wasn't it? Yeah. 2022, when England should have won it. He was in that final. He missed that penalty in that final. He did actually feature in them Euros and play well. I remember the game against Ukraine in Rome. He was excellent in that game, and I was getting excited then. But that's when United were bringing Sancho in. That was the exciting factor. We got Sancho, we got Ronaldo, Varane. Oh, what a summer that was. What a summer that was for Manchester United. And we all thought we were turning the corner again. Yes. And that corner, wow. I mean, I remember the start to that season. We beat Leeds 5-1, didn't we, as well? Oh, my days. Yes, I remember it. Yeah. Chelsea will loan him out and try and sell him after. He'll be playing in Italy next season on loan. Chelsea isn't a club but a collector. Chelsea run in a very, very strange way, but it seems to work for them. For all of the stick that they get, they're still bleeding fourth in the league. Do you know what I mean? They're still doing all right. It is crazy. Jonatech says, thoughts on bringing Alvaro back to replace Leach, and now with Alvaro is playing left centre-back for Benfica. Versatile player are Alvaro, isn't he? Alvaro Carreras. And yeah, when you look at different situations, United can still trigger something with Alvaro. There are options in the market for players like Jonathan David. There are options there. There are options there for Manchester United. And it does look like we are going to have to be clever this summer, but we can be. And there are a few different players out there I think United will be looking at. I'm going to move on to the right wing-back situation and news next in that one. First of all, we've already had a few new subscribers join while we've been live, actually. So thank you, everyone. Welcome along to the channel if you are new. Please give the video a like as well. I think we're going to get well over the 200 live like mark again, everyone. Get them up, people. Let's see if we can get up near 300 for this live show, everyone. And let's get on to the next section of everything. And do you know what? When it comes to Manchester United's transfers and the whole drama of it, this is what United are. You look at Sancho. Look at that situation. Absolute carnage. We just mentioned Frankie de Jong there. Train wreck. A nightmare situation. United taken to the cleaners. United will never do business with Barcelona. I just don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't think it ever will after what happened with David Beckham. Then you move through to the Paul Pogba situation. Need I say any more? What is it with Manchester United? It is just a circus when it does come to the transfer side of things. I don't think we're going to go near De Jong. I think Sancho's going to leave, and I don't think we're going to go near Pogba. I just said that the structure is so much better now at Manchester United that these stories are brought up by the media in just a hope that something clicks and something actually happens with it. I don't actually believe that any of this will come true. Sancho will leave, Pogba won't come United, and United won't go in for Frankie de Jong. They won't. This is what we used to be compared to what we're at right now. And what we're at right now is what I want to talk about next, which is Roger Fernandes and Frimpong as Manchester United's top right wing-back options right now at Manchester United. Obviously, we lost out on Kenda to Chelsea, but when it comes to let's have a quick look at Frimpong. When we're looking at reality, and when we're looking at how feasible these deals are, obviously, still, when it comes to the player himself, 24, yes, the right type of player. Bayer Leverkusen, Champions League next season, yes, you'd expect them to be in the position that they are in the Bundesliga right now. Issue with this deal is that he's got 3 more years left on his contract. He's contracted until 2028. Leverkusen can drive a hard bargain. He's playing week in, week out. He's getting assists, he's getting goals. He's having a fantastic season again, even though Leverkusen have dropped off a little bit from their outstanding season last season. Frimpong is a player that United should be all over. He's the right type of quality, but he's the right type of quality when Manchester United were better, when United were competing. And this is where I sort of move away from players like Jeremy Frimpong. When you look at it, let's get up the details of his full season right now. I'll just go through them with you. So, when it comes to all competitions this season, Frimpong for Alonso, 39 games, 13 goal involvements, 10 assists, 3 goals. Yeah, he's a player for United. But we look at them players now, and I go into this as a fan, I go into this as running this channel and looking at players like this, and all I've got and all I'm thinking of is Manchester United's structure, like I just mentioned a moment ago. When you look at Frimpong, he looks like the perfect player for Manchester United, but we are all still thinking, a few of us right now still, on the old United basis, that we could go out there into the transfer market and buy these types of players. So, I mean, when you're looking at Frimpong there, his market value is less than what we bought Aaron Wan-Bissaka for under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I mean, that's the days of old where United would spend loads of money. It's like you're looking at Frimpong there and you're going, that is the ideal player for us right now. But when I put in Roger Fernandes, for instance, and I look at him and his market value and his contract, it's still a very similar contract. He's still very good in terms of goal involvement for Braga. I think it's 10 goal involvements this season. Again, it's pretty much the same as what Kenda's got at Sporting right now. And there you're looking at, again, for me, I reckon the exact player that Manchester United will be buying this summer. I do. I think he is going to be... He's going to be the type of player that Manchester United bring in under Amorim that fits into a system rather than a profile of a player. United used to just go out into the market, and I think Sir Jim Radcliffe was talking about this yesterday as well. He was talking about Manchester United just going out and buying names. They didn't have the credentials within their management system to go out and find the right type of player. There was nothing there at United that said, we have got what it takes to go out and find the right players. Nothing at all. And yet, there you go. Bang, we just kept on doing it. And the mistake after mistake after mistake is now where we're at with the 3 or 4 players that I've just mentioned at the top of this show. Antony, Rashford to a certain degree in terms of the contracts, and now we bigged him up. Sancho, Casemiro. It's not going to work like that anymore. It's not going to work like that anymore. It has to be a player that works for Amorim. I'm on that Quenda situation as well. The developments in that came about where he wasn't keen on being a wing-back. He wanted to be an out-and-out winger. And that suited the Maresca setup at Chelsea better for him. So, really, again, would Quenda have been the right type of player for Manchester United? This is where the recruitment has to take over. Look at every single tiny little detail in these deals and go forward from there. That's what United have to do. We have to be on top of what fits for Ruben more than what looks good on paper for United. Quenda, Alvaro, they all look like the right type of players. Manchester United can get Alvaro Fernandes back cheaper. Quenda played with Ruben Amorim before. He was the one who gave him his chance and brought him through. It looked like it was the right deal. But Quenda has changed. And obviously he wants to play a different role. And if he has got that mindset, and if that's where he sees his game, then he's not for Ruben Amorim and he's not for Manchester United. And that has to be at the forefront of all negotiations for United going into this summer. Because if we don't look at it that way, then we're going to get stuck with the similar players that we've got right now. Players that can't fit a role. Players that we're looking at to fit, for instance, a round peg into a square role constantly, all of the time. And that, I think, is why Manchester United will look at someone like Fernandes if they're going to bring someone in, or bring in a Kamasin or a Mantato from Manchester United's academy. I do believe that United's spend this summer will be low. I really do. And like Ornstein said, United are going to buy a lot of players this summer. I expect United to be busy. I don't think it's going to be in the marquee version of player. I think United will be busy, but I think you could see 3 or 4 players come into Manchester United for less than 20 million. I mean, that's the sort of market we're rolling in right now. I think when you look at the Patrick Dorgu transfer, for instance, and what we did with Lecce, like 25 million maxed out. The add-ons are never going to be triggered. Apparently, the add-ons for him have to be, well, very difficult for Romano said to reach. So I think when you look at that, you go, right, okay, fair enough, that's good because we have got a good deal at 25 million there. I think something for Fernandes may be similar. Honestly, though, don't think that United are going to go out and buy a right wing back. Don't think it's going to happen just like that. Honestly, I look at it and I go, they won't be spending fortunes. And I think 20 to 25 million for someone like Fernandes, I still feel like that is not where United want to be going. I don't think they want to spend that amount of money. I think they want less. And at 19, if you can get him for 15 to 20 million, I think that's probably good business for United for that age. I think he is a good player. He's putting up the numbers. He has performed well this season for Braga. And again, it's someone who Ruben Amorim knows. But does he play wing back? Yes, he does. He's very, very versatile. He plays right wing, he plays right back, he plays left wing, he plays left back. All of them positions he has played. He's predominantly a right-sided player, but you have got the versatility there of two in Dorgu and in Fernandes that you could actually use and utilise. That's United going forward. It's not buying the right player. The right player is Frimpong for me. I think he fits what we need. He's turning in more of a winger as well. This is the problem. These wing-back type players now, they're not really seen as defenders anymore. Yes, they can defend, but it's like they move forward through their careers and they turn out to be wingers. They turn out to be more damaging and proactive further up the field than in defence. And this is where the system of football takes over. And this is where you get the adaptability within your back three and that one midfielder dropping back in to cover and it moves into a back four. So Agate would predominantly always drop back in when a central defender moved out or a wing-back moved forward just in case. And that's how the system worked. They are more attacking and they are key to Ruben Amorim's system because without proper attacking wing-backs, you are not going to make this system work. It's impossible. And we've found that out with United. You've got two defensive fullbacks playing forward-thinking wing-back roles for Ruben that don't work. Like Dalot is not a winger. Mazraoui is not a winger. They have both done well and credit to them for stepping into these roles which are foreign to them. But still, you need to get the right players in that area for Ruben's system to work. And I think that's why most people have talked about the actual wing-backs being key in the transfer window. And that's where recruitment needs to really step itself up for United this summer. I'm going to get to the comment section on all of this. Please get your comments in, people. We have also got over that 200 live like mark. Absolutely smashed it, everyone. Well over 1,200 in the room with us. Thank you, everyone. If you have just subscribed and given the video a like, please do keep them coming in. We are targeting 300 likes in this live show. Jonatech says, we will likely go balls out on a striker only unless we can get Jonathan David. Then we need a central midfielder and a centre-back desperately. I don't think we need a centre-back desperately. I really disagree with the centre-back one. Centre-mid and striker, yes, but not a centre-back. I really think United have, if they've got limited funds, don't need to be busting a gut to get a centre-back. I think if the right option comes around, we will buy him. And yeah, you're right, we are losing a few over the next couple of seasons. 2 this summer in Evans and Lindelof, but let's be honest, we've pretty much played the whole season without Evans and Lindelof anyway. We've brought in Aiden Heaven. We've got Yorol Mazraoui can play at the back as well in the back three, as we know. And now we're going to bring in a right wing back. He is surplus to requirements on that side, so he could step back in as well. So you could say Heaven is in, Mazraoui is in, and Lindelof is out and Evans is out. And you still got with that, De Ligt, Martinez to come back and Harry Maguire to come back as well. Obviously, you've got Lenny Yoro there. I think centre-back we're okay. I do. Goalkeeper. Priority. Like I said last night, get that in. New structure and building United into a quality squad that has multi-talented, adaptable young players for any elite manager to manager, just like every top team does. The days of buy for managers are dead. That from MB. Gary says, perhaps I'm wrong, but I don't see ex-Amorim players making a beeline to work with him again. I'm sure it's not just a United problem. Look, like they loved him at Sporting. And I don't care, really, if they don't want to come. They may just want to change. Players don't like the same thing constantly as well. So there are different things. It's a good point to bring up, Gary, but let's be honest, I think the main thing is where they're playing and what competitions they're going to be playing in next season. And none of them coming to United look like they're going to be playing in the Champions League. And I think that is the best. That is the best you could bet. Are you joining us for the paper rounds? That is straight after this show. The link is in the live chat there, but you will be redirected straight after this show finishes. Plenty to talk about in the paper round today as well. All Premier League stuff going on. Carabao Cup final and top 4 now / top 5 confirmed that to be talking about. That's the poll running right now as well in this chat. Jeremy Frimpong is more experienced than Roger Fernandez. Yes, he is. He is 5 years older than him. And he has played at the top level more. I get it. But we're not going to be able to buy that player because we're not competing in the Champions League. And that's where he will go. And that's that type of player, 24, 25. If you want to attract that player to United, we have to have Champions League football. Otherwise, forget it. And that's when we start looking at the Roger Fernandez's types of players. The Wesley probably at Flamengo. That's where that story came from. United looking into the bargain basements of South American football. And that's no disrespect to the quality of players coming through there. It's just that you can get players a lot less for a lot less money from the likes of South America and Africa right now, which United have really dipped into this last couple of windows. So I'm excited. I want to see more of that. There is talent all over the world that United just arrogantly have not looked at or recruited properly, and we need to be looking in them leagues around the world because there is so much talent there that United just haven't been looking at, and it's poor. It is poor from Manchester United and how the club has been run, and that I think is where United fans can probably feel a little bit more excited about the summer because it's going to be different. It's not like it was before. Backs to the wall and not a lot to spend. What can you do? That still gets me more excited than having loads of money to spend. It does because I know that players are going to have to leave, and that's what I want more than anything. If United don't go for another right wing back and still start the low, they're not a serious club. Says that. Say my name. Morning to you as well, UK. More Dorgout / Heaven signings, please, Ruben. It's looking good, isn't it, in terms of what Ruben has done so far. 2 signings that he has made or that he has been on top of as well as the structure. Let's not forget them in this. But Dorgu and Heaven look like decent players right now. Exciting players. Frankie de Jong at 27 for that price is a no-brainer. I get what you're saying, Christopher. At the right wages too. Let's not forget that. And if he wants to come as well, let's not forget that either. Major important points when making a player transaction. Frimpong is too small. I'm not going in on the too small side of things. I'm really not. At wing back, I don't think you have to be that big a stronger player, I don't think. I think you can be a bit more agile, a bit more lightweight, just fast, aggressive in your play. I think that's where it works on the size. Yes, Adam, remember Caicedo? Yep, pennies from South America turned into 100 million for Brighton. Yeah, exactly that. That's what United have missed out on. And that's why Brighton have taken over Manchester United. That's why they're competing with Manchester City and are right behind them in that Champions League fight, because they are right behind them in that Champions League fight. And like Sir Jim said yesterday, the football data revolution that came in that United were just not on top of, that other clubs were, is where United are catching up right now. I like Shaw, and we need his experience on the pitch, but he's always unavailable. We cannot rely on Luke Shaw to ever be in a Man United shirt again. It's a bonus if he ever turns up. You are having a laugh. We are spam in South America. Just compare Diego Leon and Estevao, Kendry, Gabriel. I'm not sure if you're talking to me there. It might be someone else. I was talking, we need to be on top of that more. If Dorgu gets his passing game right, he will be lethal. Yeah, he was a bit rusty at the start of the game against Sociedad, but he grew into the game. I think he was better. I think we can fine-tune his forward play a little bit more. Like, he gets into some really good positions, and I think he could be a player. I think there's still time to develop on him as well. Adamski, can you please give a shout-out for the barcodes today? The barcodes, as in, what, Geordies? Is that what we're saying? I think that's what you mean. We are going to be talking about Newcastle. We are going to be talking about that cup final in Football Talks in just a moment's time, everybody, as well. We're going to fly across to Football Talks in just a minute. We are kickstarting there around about 8:45, so just a moment away in that one, in this one as well. All I want you to do quickly before we finish up on the show, please give the video a like, because we are about to hit that 300 mark that we said we wanted, which is brilliant. So thank you, everybody. We are going to be jumping across to Football Talks now, though. So again, thank you to all of the mods and all of the members. I hope to see you all over on Football Talks as well in just a moment's time, where we're going to be looking through the papers and everything that is going on in the rest of the Premier League. Let's just say that. And it is international break. Need we? I think we can touch on that squad and the players that are in that England squad as well. We got all that to discuss and more over on Football Talks in just a moment. So please do jump across there for us. Thank you, everybody. All the new subscribers from the show. We've had quite a few on the morning show. Thank you, everyone. And everyone who's helped out and commented in the chat. I love you all. Welcome to Forever United TV if you're new. If you have been here from the get-go, or I know all about the channel already, you know the score. I'll see you on Football Talks in just a moment. Cheers, everybody.